The latest on Nigella Lawson from Dan.
You know, she's been pretty mum recently, but after a bruising couple of months, Nigella Lawson is now speaking for the first time about her plans for their future. However, new developments just over the weekend could make moving forward tricky for her. Going by the orgasmic faces she makes in this promotional video for the second season of her show, which is called The Taste and will air on ABC next month, Nigella Lawson is ready to move on from an excruciating year. One that has involved pictures of her now ex-husband grabbing her by the throat at a restaurant in London, and then the grueling trial of her two former assistants.
Please, gentlemen, give us some room, please.
Acquitted just last week on charges of bilking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Speaking through her publicist to a British publication, Lawson said, quote, "The past months have been extremely difficult, but I am looking forward to getting back to work and to looking after my family. I will survive this and move forward. I just want to focus on my family life and work." In an interview, she also takes an apparent jab at ex-husband Charles Saatchi, a super-rich art dealer who is known to have quirky eating habits. Quote, "I don't find it attractive if a man doesn't eat. Fear of flesh for me equates with a lack of interest in life." Despite Lawson's desire to put the past behind her, it may not be so easy. Over the weekend, British police announcing they will take a look at Lawson's admissions during the trial of her assistants that she used marijuana and cocaine. One of her assistants also said Lawson let her teenage children smoke weed. On the stand, Lawson denied being an addict, saying she smoked an occasional joint and used cocaine a handful of times, but, quote, "The idea that I am a drug addict or habitual user of cocaine is absolutely ridiculous." An anonymous friend of Lawson's has reportedly said that the celebrity chef was floored by the acquittal of her former aides, but mostly Lawson is just truly angry at her ex-husband, who she blames for spreading those stories about her alleged drug abuse. People close to Lawson say her plan for revenge is to succeed professionally with her new show starting soon here on ABC, and her publisher promising to reissue all of her cookbooks.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Let's go to another Dan right now, our Chief Legal Affairs anchor, Dan Abrams. I think the surprising things here is this notice that perhaps she might be investigated on these drug charges.
This is an outrage, right? She was the alleged victim here, and now the authorities are talking about possibly investigating her for drug use and even social services possibly coming in because there are children in the house. This is a woman who has admitted to using drugs on a few occasions. If we are going to start investigating every person who admits to using drugs on a few occasions, there are going to be a lot of investigations.
But is there really going to be an investigation?
Well, look, the authorities kind of have to say, we're opening up an investigation here. But of course, the reality is they're not. They've made it very clear that they are not going to charge her, that this is going to end here. But, you know, when you get allegations like this, you want to make it clear we don't give anyone special treatment. So, yes, we're going to look into this. And, yes, social services will be involved. But I think even that sends a horrible message in a case like this.
So much bad blood between Saatchi and Lawson right now. He had threatened to have a lawsuit to get his money back. You think he'll go through with that?
He threatened to try and get this money back. And part of the reason for that was to make sure she testified in this case. I don't think there's a chance he's going to sue her for that money. I think that was just a threat from his lawyer. You listen to what he said in his testimony in this case, and you know, if he were to sue, that could be used against him because he was very defensive and protective of her in his testimony in connection with this case because she really did become the one who was on trial here. When you look back at who suffered the most as a result of this case, it wasn't the two former assistants, it wasn't Saatchi, it was Nigella Lawson.
And he pulled back some of those charges of drug abuse.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, Dan Abrams, thanks very much.